All right, folks, we are back here this Monday afternoon, shortly after 2:30. It is still June 9th, though. Great to have all of our members and students alike just back inside our live trading room. Gillis, Fred, Charlene, got Kathleen just before, Michael, Kerry, Leda, got Fred, you got Devi, Russ, you got Uday, and all of us just joining us here once again inside our live trading room. Great to see you back, though, if you're just joining us on Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. Got an issue on TikTok, at least there. We're not streaming there this afternoon, but great to have all of us though back alike. Now, with that in mind, let's hop right into the thick of things. Of course, we came off our workshop earlier today, Traders Talk. We were discussing the Archer move, at least from the morning session. Very nice balance with the, at least coming off the news of the executive order on the EVTOLs, and flattened out though for the time being, right? So this failed to flip resistance properly into support to look for a higher high. Well, I ended up giving a little bit back just before because I saw a great setup on Jobby right around the same time. You know, there's a chance for both to move up pretty well, and this was actually looking pretty stronger at the time. You know, it flipped resistance into support here. Things were looking good, but it failed to test the next resistance, let alone break above it, flip that into support there. You know, it came back down. So I got stopped out right at 924 here on this, just a little lower right here. But, you know, going into the close, both are still up a lot percentage-wise. And there's other of these like drone, air taxi-esque, EVTOL-based companies, whatever you want to call them, whatever they actually are, we're going to group them together. Archer, Jobby, Ondis is one, UAVS is another, RCAT, that might be the hot hand now at this point. This is actually, you know, pushing up pretty well here just before broke a new high just a moment ago. And maybe this is new support building here. Let me just go over to this RCAT daily chart here. Again, this is just kind of grouping these stocks together, the drone stocks, the air taxi stocks, the electric vehicle takeoff or lift, EVTOL, if you want to be fancy. But you know, at least for right now, RCAT, it is confirming back above where you had good support heading into the beginning of this year, right around 780-ish, maybe even this year off of like 810. So that was good support for a little while. It was a higher low. It just failed to make a higher high. And now at this point, the last few days, even from the end of last week into today, we've been confirming closing over that support line pretty well. So that was even before that news came out from the weekend, from Friday afternoon it was. But yeah, now at this point, this could very well be a good swing trade, not just a good day trade. So the RCAT in particular, I'll put on our watch list at least to begin. We'll focus on the others just as we go through. If they continue to move up, we'll come back to those. But let's actually just go right across the percent gainers and losers list here, folks. See what we got. Vertical takeoff and landing, Sam says. There you go. Vertical takeoff and landing, EVTOL. Electric vehicle. Or electric vertical, I guess. And plus, I got my dyslexia involved too, so I'm probably messing that up as well, Sam. All right, so KLTO, at least to begin here. So building higher lows, right? This damn thing is still building higher lows, even after we left off with it in our workshop earlier today, Traders Talk. Listen, this thing's trading nearly 1 billion shares at this point. Probably by the end of this meeting, this could be over 1 billion. And it's on a 22 million share float. So very low float, irregardless. We even trade lower than that, like million share float stock or whatnot. But still, I mean, compare the volume traded today to that float. That's just a giant disproportion. So it's already up a lot anyway. It's not just up like 60% or 80%. This thing is up 650%. So it's up as much as you'd want to see a stock move up to anyway in our room. It's a home run anyway. How much more can it move up? Well, if we come back to this, at the end of the meeting and it's still pushing and there's nothing else as we go through that's looking better, then we'll maybe possibly put that back on our list. I just feel like that's more exhausted now than anything. Much like I've been today in my mouth. Now, let's keep going, though, at least here. On My Home Limited, OMH, good pop from earlier. Again, kind of a cheapy stock below $1, but once it broke over $1, that's where all the big money, trickled in. So at least for right now, this is up maybe a third up as much as the KLTO currently is, and still up 230%. That's a lot, but it's still making higher lows. It's not trading 1 billion shares in volume today. That's nuts. So I don't mind putting this on our list for right now, the OMH. Be a little picky and choosy with your trades now at this point. So let's see what else we got at least. We got the RCAT, the OMH. kind of keep going through here for right now. Did I run this yet? Did I run this with the 2 million? Yeah, I did. Okay. All right. See if there's anything looking as good, if not better. KWM. Feel like, yeah, the stock did pop for us back last week. It was back on Wednesday in the pre-market in the morning session. Made a little slingshot, at least by the market open or shortly afterwards, but very short-lived, squeezed, kind of topped off just about 10, 15, 20 minutes later. And that was that. So it is trying to go back up towards that area. In fact, it broke above, resistance that we had here right around 490-ish, $5 you could just kind of move up towards and say. So that area, this chart resistance and then $5, if that could flip into support, then there's a good chance for more here on this move. So I don't mind it. I'll put this on our list, the KWM. Hopefully the order book, fills in a bit more there. But, for right now, the chart's holding up. SMPX, that's washed up at this point. Newegg, that one too. XTIA, it's near the highs, almost like a Fausto flag building there as well. I don't mind it. I'll come back to that one if we need to at the end. If we keep going through this list and there's nothing else that looks better, then I'll probably add that at least there, the XTIA. There might be more pop, more like spark volatility behind this UMAC trade. So coming off of, I think, Bitcoin pushing up, you got the UMAC trade making a nice run. I know this is Trump backed. You got resistance at 950. It's been building up there throughout the day. So it's a good setup. I'll add this here still, the UMAC. Oh, shit. The plug trade moved up to $1.22. Pardon my language there. Geez. I caught 5 cents on this earlier this morning. I was in from 101, sold at 106. Felt good with my trade at the time. And quite frankly, I still feel good about it because it dropped off and stalled out for like hours today before it ended up breaking back up. But yeah, I guess I should have been more on point with seeing this break new high of the day. It looks pretty simple and effortless afterwards. And, hopefully more left to take on this trade. Plug, I don't mind it. Yeah, I mean, more of a slower category 1 stock that we normally call out. We'll put that back on our list. Now the FCEL, FCEL that normally goes with it, it moves with it oftentimes. They're kind of like, sister companies, brother, sister, cousins, whatever you want to call them. They'll move similar, but not the same. So here today, you can see Plug having a much better move, even though FCEL moved up nicer on Friday, popped at the open today. There could be more to it, but Plug's the hotter hand. I'd rather us focus on this trend for right now, right? All right, let's see what else we got at least here. Plug, BTM, that's kind of holding near the highs too. Order book checks out, actually. That's not too bad. I'll come back to that on second round. NVTS dropping off. I was hoping that would hold better here. So we'll kind of move on from this trade for right now, but very nice stock. We like this NVTS trade a lot. Moving UAVS. I think that did we mention this with the drone stocks, the drone VTOL, trades, the air taxis, just kind of lumping them all together. UAVS is another one to kind of keep a small eye on here and there. FCEL, ASTS coming back up right now. So, this kind of bounce that we're seeing here heading into the afternoon, I'm going to put this ASTS trade back on our list for that reason more than anything. When is this going to end? CoreWeave. Geez, this thing just keeps going. This thing's insane. I know some people weren't too high on it off its IPO at first, even with it popping. Well, yeah, it came back down. But I don't think anyone was expecting the type of run that you saw here, up 300+% after breaking above $50. So this CoreWeave trade, great swing trade, just not really a great day trade because the order book is pretty empty. And quite frankly, it's moved up so much percentage-wise. It's probably due for a pullback here and there. So I'd rather just focus elsewhere. All right. Anything else here, folks? Looking good. I mean, Archer dropping off with the Jobby trade. Happy I got out on the Jobby. Took my tiny loss and ran. No problem doing that when that thing just keeps breaking lower. Maybe that means RCAT's going to drop back down too. We have RCAT on our main list for right now. We'll keep it on our list, but if they keep dropping, maybe RCAT goes with it there. So in that case, focus on something else. But here we go. TEM. Nice. All right, cool. TEM, we're going to put back on our watch list an AI stock. I got to say it every time I'm on the mic here and it moves up, but it's a Pelosi trade. The fact that it's been building up so nicely here leads me to say that she may not have sold, right? There's a good chance that she's still riding the wave here. She's hodling on this trade. And it's moving back up very well there on the swing. So good day trade, potentially great swing trade on the horizon too. Listen, you got to follow the big money out there, right? So let's see what else we got. Anything else looking good? Nothing really. I mean, the Saber stock looks pretty cool. Looking nice trend on the way up to three. It's up like 8%. Just we don't need it. I mean, it's like a little slow. Want something even a little bit more fast, a little bit more spark to it. EMPH that had a good afternoon so far, actually holding near the highs. Jump over to run RUN, maybe the array trade, array here. All right, so EMPH itself is doing pretty good. Nothing that I'm like drooling over though at this point. We got a few trades on our watch list already. Lumen, one that we're familiar with. It's up. It's a little slow. All right, we'll hop over to the loser side here, seeing if there's anything looking just as good, if not better. RSLS, well, follow the trend first here. So I wouldn't be looking for a dead cat bounce on this just yet. Children's Place. This stock is a loser. Let me show you why. Back from 2000, I guess it was 2024, just September. Lose track of your days and weeks at this point. But back in September, this stock had a great short squeeze for us day over day, but it came back down and we kind of moved on to other stocks. It was not a swing trade because the chart didn't show it to us at the time. Long term, the trend was very much down even before that short-lived squeeze back in September time it was. But then same thing, just came right back down. So this might even be at all-time lows. Low here, 477. Today it's trading at 476. I think this is at all-time lows, if I'm not mistaken. It's actually easy to borrow my platform on TradeStation, so I don't even need to check, request shares, go through my app or any of that. So far, the place trade, Children's Place, that could be a good short, breaking all-time lows. Seeing if there's anything looking just as good, if not better here. EYEN coming back down. Figured that would happen. A lot of these stocks are just washed up day trades from last week. And you figure they're going to be on the losers list here. So they're not really like worth watching at all. Not really good shorts even. Not much else looks great from the losers list, folks. So, for Brad, for Steve, for Michael, Lawrence, Uday, Thomas, Leda, any of our students inside our live trading room, you let me know if there's anything else looking good here. EPLD nosediving, yeah, pulling back a little bit at least, right? I mean, it's a great daily chart still. Looking at the daily for a potential swing, it moved up so much from the last couple of weeks. So, it might take some time to build support. Perhaps look to build it right around these previous highs. Right around 11-ish, 1150-ish, and pull back down there. That's a thought. KLTO, well, it's going back up, so kind of doing second round here on our gainers list, at least in the other trades we said we'd come back to. It's definitely trying to prove itself to us, at least right now. So at this point, we'll put this back on our list there, the KTLO. All right, Benzinga time. Benzinga, then we'll wrap up here. So here's our KLTO. OMH, KNW, maybe a couple more that we didn't really look at just yet. KNW 2 flat, OMH, again, I think that one, did we actually put on our main list just yet? We did. So the OMH we already have. I'll tell you, I think that's pretty much it, folks. Not much else that I see it's popping up here. So listen, we ran through everything. There's no need to try and find the next big thing that doesn't pop. You focus on the watch list that we have here to begin, especially with the KLTO, especially with OMH. And then if the air taxi stocks keep holding up, at least then there's RCAT. So we'll focus on these to begin. Brian B commenting at least on the APLD trade. Looks like some news came out. Compass Point downgrades APLD $13 price target. Yeah, the thing is though is that there's that firm, but then there's 20 other firms that have their own price target. So I mean this in in a good way to make sure you don't rip your hair out. I don't really take one firm's word for their I don't take their rating, seriously, or any price target seriously. And even with that, there are sometimes we see cheap stocks get price targets that are 300% away, like a $2 stock with a $6 price target, or a $2 stock even more, like a $15 target. And people go crazy. Oh, it's going to run up there. Maybe it goes a little bit, but it's probably not going to get to that number right away, let alone maybe at all. So hey, maybe that's at least one firm, but naturally, with how much the stock moved up over the last several weeks, it's due for a breather, right? I mean, hey, for as much as it popped, right? Gapped up here, blasted off at the open back on the fourth last week. So just a matter of seeing resistance flip into support. That's all. Now, if there's like like realistic news, if like, oh, CEO left, or oh, so and so companies in major debt, we found out, like, that's real news you take serious. It's like, oh shit, like SMCI and their accounting issue that we had from last year. When that happened last year, yeah, that's some stuff you want to like really trust and like take for their word. Uh, with a firm, there's 1,000 firms. So trust me, I've learned from my own history. I've done that before, and I've been I've had my hopes let go. Pretty much. All right, folks, we're going to wrap up at least for the time being. 247. I'm going to jump back on at least in about 15, 20 minutes myself. Tesla just hit 300 again from Lynn and Randy here to wrap things up, and that will do. Yeah, I mean, it's up a little bit. Check out the other stocks at least, like Palantir. That had a better day, I think, percentage-wise, and I focus on that more. You know what? I'll probably add Palantir to our main list, and that will do. This has been a great swing trade over time, but this is where, hey, if you want to factor in news, right? I don't think anyone really hates Dr. Alex Karp as much as they hate Elon out there. So, if you're thinking there could be a stock that might make a better run, hey, Palantir seems to be proving itself a bit, and less people hate the CEO. So you got that going for this trade at least. But, hey, folks, best of luck going into the close. If you're joining us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc., again, just be a friend, tell a friend. Our YouTube account right down below, bottom left, at Cyber Trading U. Just hit that red button that says subscribe right down below here. And make sure to join us live each and every morning. We're live in the morning, live in the afternoon, but we do live audio commentary shortly after the market open and the final hour before the close. I'll be back on myself, as I had said, at 3:05 for all of our members inside our live trading room. So if you wanted to take the next step, join us inside our trading room. Just go right down to the link scrolling down on the bottom below right there, ctu.co/trial. Get yourself involved inside our live trading room, our community of traders. Of course, you got a 35+ year pro himself, Fausto Puglisi. I've been with him for over 10 years, so not nearly as long as he's been going at it, but you were in good hands with both of us, our instructors, otherwise, our students that have been with us for a long time. But that is the next step outside of just the social media landscape that we're all in here. But either way, we look forward to having you join us in the near future. And hey, we'll be back on for our members here in our room pretty shortly.